Guys, we made it to the end of October. Do you know what that means? It means that it's November, Halloween is past, and for me that means the Christmas season has started. I am so excited, but before I get into my Christmas spirit and go nuts with the Christmas decorations and the Christmas songs and the Christmas books and everything like that, I thought I would share with you guys my October favourites. I had quite a few different random favourites this month, as well as some makeup and skincare and just other stuff that I've been loving, so I'm going to share that with you guys today. I'm going to start off with some skincare. The first thing that I've been loving is my Philosophy Purity Made Simple Cleanser. I have used this in the past and then have come back to it and then gone to other things and then come back to it again. I just really like this. It's a fantastic cleanser. It removes all your makeup. It's supposed to be a 3-in-1 cleanser for face and eyes, and it really does get away all the excess makeup and dirt and grime on your face, but doesn't leave your face feeling tight. It doesn't leave your face feeling stripped of its natural oils, and it doesn't leave my face feeling dry or sensitive, particularly when I have acne, and I'm having really bad breakouts at the moment. My skin just absolutely hates me, and it is as bad as it's been in quite a while. And sometimes when it's like that, my skin just can't even handle the more, I guess, the harsher, more acne fighting cleansers. Sometimes I just need to give it a break, and something like this just works so well for that. I've also been loving a new body wash. This is the Original Source Vanilla Milk and Raspberry Shower Gel. I just found this in Coles randomly. It's made in Australia. It is recyclable and it's tested on humans, not on animals, which is great. And this is the strongest smelling shower gel I have ever had. So if you like really strongly scented things, if you want to be able to smell your shower gel while it's going on you and have it linger afterwards, then I would highly recommend this. It wasn't very expensive and it's just a really nice overall shower gel body wash. It lathers up really nicely, and this one smells like, it really smells like strawberries and cream. It's supposed to be vanilla milk and raspberry, but it just smells like strawberries and cream candy. It's just, for fragrance favourite, I can't go past my Taylor Swift perfume. Ever since I got this, I have just been using it non-stop for the last couple of months. All that I've used is either this or my, what's it called, Jo Malone cologne, either or, every single day. I love this. This is the Taylor Swift Taylor perfume. I liked the original 2 scents. I like how this is quite different from Wonderstruck and Wonderstruck Enchanted. This one has quite a floral scent to it. It's still sweet, but it also has a slightly musky, woody notes to it, which are really quite nice. It just smells lovely. I would highly recommend smelling it. For makeup favourites, I'm going to start with a primer. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's the Revlon PhotoReady Perfecting Primer. I have been loving this. Like I said, my skin has hated me at the moment. It is extra oily, and as the weather gets hotter, my skin gets more oily, and this is just helping both my high-end foundations and my more like low-end drugstore foundations last so much better. This has fantastic oil control powers. It doesn't keep my oils away completely. Still, by the end of the day, I still have gone a little bit oily, but my foundations wear better, and the way that they wear away is also a lot nicer with this primer. So I would highly recommend it. I've actually used a fair chunk of it, and for somebody who often skips primers, I'm getting much better at it, and I have just been loving this. It really does make a difference, a noticeable difference, at least in my opinion. To go with that, I've been loving a foundation, and this is a high-end foundation, and when I first got it, I was in like with it, and I don't think that's right. When you buy a high-end foundation and shell out so much money for it, I feel like you need to be in love with it, otherwise it's just not worth it. And when I got the YSL Touche Éclat foundation, I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it, and I think the combination of these two together have made me in love with this foundation. I love the way that it looks on my skin. It has this natural finish. I think it is supposed to be glowy or luminous, but for me it just looks like natural skin. I like the way that it almost dries down to it just looks like skin. It doesn't look like I've got anything on top of my skin. It's not the most high coverage foundation. I use 2 pumps of this, and I think that's the trick with it, is to just not overdo it. If you need to cover up more, go back in with concealer. I like to apply this with either my Wayne Goss No. 1 brush or my Real Techniques Expert Face brush, and I apply this in sort of swiping motions as opposed to buffing motions, because on my skin that just seems to work better. I also love the way that it wears away. It just wears away so nicely that it doesn't go cakey, it doesn't ball up. I'm not embarrassed for people to look close to my skin, which with some foundations I am. So I am now in love with the YSL Touche Éclat. I know that it's an expensive foundation, but if you can get a sample of it, I do think that it's worth a try, because even with oily skin, by pairing it with a mattifying primer, I find that it works really, really well, and I just love the finish of it. So I've been wearing that quite a lot this month. To conceal those pesky blemishes that won't leave my face at the moment, I've been loving my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye with collagen and vitamin K and C concealer. That is a mouthful. This little baby I picked up at IMATS and it is just awesome. I got the shade Natural Medium and I've been using it for both under my eyes, but it works really well for my blemishes as well. It's a high coverage, quite thick but still creamy concealer. I put a little bit on the back of my hand and just use a small brush, something like my, what is this? This is my Sigma Performance Shader Inner Corner E46 brush, and I can just apply it to all my thousands of little blemishes all over everywhere and conceal them, as well as put it under my eyes, and it doesn't crease and it doesn't cake up, and it's just a fantastic concealer. The next thing that I've been loving is a bronzer, and this is the Bourjois, this is in France, Bronzing Powder with Glints of Sunshine is the English version of it. This is the chocolate bronzer. It looks like this. I wasn't able to find this on Bourjois stands here in Australia, but I did pick it up from ASOS. It smells delicious. I love it, and I just love the fact that it is a matte bronzer that I love from the drugstore or from a inexpensive brand. All the bronzers that I tend to have and use quite a bit, which is like my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and even my what's it called, my Makeup Store Micro Shadow, my Bobbi Brown bronzer. A lot of the bronzers that I use tend to be high end, and I've just never found one that I absolutely love from the drugstore, and it makes it hard to do tutorials and things when I know that sometimes I want to do a fully drugstore tutorial and I just don't have a bronzer that I absolutely love. So I've been loving this. I think that it works really well. You can build it up and make it a bit darker. I use it quite sparingly to make it a little bit more lighter for people with lighter skin tones, and it's just great. It smells delicious, looks like chocolate. What more could you ask for in a bronzer? Well, what more? I would ask that it be available in Australia, but at least we can get it online, so that's cool. Okay, moving on to some lip products. I have been in love with these, and I've only just had them for like the last week of October, but they made them to my October favorites. These are the NYX Butter Glosses. I am so far behind on the Butter Gloss train, it's not even funny, but since they are finally available here in Australia in store, I decided to swatch some, and I picked up 4 or 5 of them, and I love them. I think I was wearing Peaches and Cream, and then I put Strawberry Parfait on top, but they're creamy, they have pigmentation, they're not completely fully pigmented. You can still see sort of your natural lip through it, but they definitely give your lips some colour, and they feel creamy, they look glossy, they aren't sticky at all, and I feel really stupid that I didn't jump on the NYX Butter Gloss train earlier, but I'm glad that I have them now. I would highly recommend them. Go swatch them in your local Target here in Australia now. Yay, you can do that, and I think you'll fall in love too, because they're awesome. So that pretty much completes my makeup favourites for this month. One more product that I wanted to chuck in here. I've literally had it for 2 days. 2 days in October, but I wanted to tell you guys about it because I figure it will sell out quite quickly, and even after 2 days I'm already in love with it, and it is my NARS One Night Stand palette in collaboration with Bourdin, I believe is how you say his name. This is a palette of 6 NARS blushes. Sorry, my mirror is going to reflect back on you there. So you have 4 blush colours, a highlight colour, and then we have Laguna bronzer. I can't remember all the names, but you do have Orgasm in there and Deep Throat, as well as this really nice bright pink blush, which I'm in love with, and then another more deeper, slightly plummy shade, and then we have a new highlighter from NARS, which is Devotee. So each of the blushes are 0.14 grams as opposed to a full-size NARS blush, which is 0.16 grams, so you can see the size comparison there. They're just a little bit smaller, and then they're about half the size of the NARS Laguna bronzer. Please excuse mine because it looks terrible, but as you can see there, for $94 that works out at about $15 or $16 per little blush, which for me I think is fantastic value, given that each of the single NARS blushes alone are like $40 or something like that here in Australia. So I think that it's good value. It is limited edition as part of the Christmas collection. You do get that nice full-size mirror, nice NARS packaging. If you can get your hands on it, I definitely think it's worth it, and that's why I decided to put it in to the end of this favorites as opposed to next month's favorites, because I have a feeling this is going to sell out really, really quickly. Then for some more random favorites, I have a candle favorite this month. This is the pumpkin cupcake candle from Bath and Body Works. If you haven't heard me talk about Bath and Body Works candles before, you can't get them in Australia from the Bath and Body Works website, but you can get them from eBay, which is where I purchase all my Bath and Body Works stuff. This is the first time I've ever purchased any in the mason jars, and I've got to say I love them. The mason jars are cheaper than the big 3-wick candles, but they burn down really nicely, as opposed to the 4-ounce 1-wick candles from Bath and Body Works, which don't burn as nicely. So I would recommend checking out these mason jar candles from Bath and Body Works. They are lovely, and this pumpkin cupcake candle scent is delicious. It smells like, or it says, satisfy your sweet tooth with the scent of a freshly baked pumpkin cupcake covered in loads of rich buttercream frosting. And then for food favorites, I have a couple of food favorites. It is October, it is Halloween, which means it is time for Halloween candy, or lollies as we would call it here in Australia. I've been loving both of these. The first is these Zachary old fashioned candy corns. This one has made with real honey in it. As you can see, I've eaten basically this entire bag. I have a few little candy corns left. My first experience with candy corn wasn't that great. The first one that I tried was actually like a Christmas coloured candy corn that I picked up in Target here in Australia. It wasn't very nice, but the last couple of years I've gotten this from a candy store, a lolly shop called Sweet Surprises. So if you can find candy corn in those like stores that sell only lollies, or ones that import things from overseas, the ones that like Sugar Fix that sell candy from the UK and the US, and like Pop-Tarts and random things like that you can't get in Australia. Love this. It's not powdery, and it's really, really lovely. So I've been addicted to this particular candy corn. And the other are these gummy skulls, and I've only got a couple of these left. There were 40 in this packet, and I've eaten basically all of them myself. I bought them at the start of October for Halloween, and basically ate most of them before it was even time for trick-or-treaters to come. They just look like this. They're just like a little kind of strawberry flavoured gummy candy, and I love them. They come out in Big W. They've been out in the last couple of years, and every year I buy a packet basically for myself because they're so yum. For music favourites, the one standout is of course Sweeter Than Fiction by Taylor Swift. I love getting to hear any new music from her. I love this song. The other thing that I want to mention as a music favourite is actually a music video, and it's the song is called Are You Going to Stay the Night or something like that by Zedd featuring Hayley Williams. I love the dancing in that. There's like a dance sort of scene, a contemporary dance scene with a couple on a lounge. If you guys, I will link the video in the description box below. If you guys are into dancing, just the way that they do that, the dancing, and the way they make it look like normal moves, like fighting and aggressive and passionate kind of thing, but into dance moves, it's just, I don't know, I find that video clip really, really fascinating, and I love watching it. I love the dancing in it, so I would recommend checking that out if you enjoy that kind of thing. And then lastly, book favorites. Of course, it is Christmas book season, so one book that I have here is Susan Mallory's Christmas on 4th Street, which is part of the Fool's Gold series. I love stories written around Christmas time. It's like my love of books mixed with my love of Christmas. There's lots of feels when it comes to that, lots of love. Some more book favourites from my Kindle this month have been Before, Now and Long After by Cheryl McIntyre. I also really enjoyed Making Faces by Amy Harmon. Oh my gosh, that was an emotional roller coaster, but I really, really enjoyed that book. I enjoyed On Dublin Street and Down London Road, both by Samantha Young. And then something that I've done for the first time this month is I caved after seeing every second YouTuber talk about Audible and decided to try an audiobook. I've been curious about audiobooks for so long. So I decided to use one of the free coupon codes, and if you use it you get the first book free to try. So I decided to download Divergent because I've had that sitting on my shelf for so long and just haven't had the time to sit down and read it. Divergent is by Veronica Roth, and I sat through and listened to it. I loved it. Since then I've also listened to Insurgent, and then my copy of Allegiant has just showed up, so I'm going to read that. I still think I enjoy physically reading as well, but I just really enjoyed listening to them on Audible because it just meant that I could play them, and each book is like 10 or 11 hours worth, but I can play them when I don't have time to read. So if I'm cleaning my room, or even while I was having a shower, I had the book playing in the background. While I was driving, I had a long trip that I had to drive for, I could just listen to the book, and it was quite enjoyable. I don't know if I'll convert completely to audiobooks, I can't see that happening, but I did enjoy listening to these. And that is it. That is my October favourites. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you celebrate Halloween, I hope you had a happy Halloween, and I hope you're looking forward to Christmas if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or any of the other end of year celebrations. I know it's Diwali, I believe, as well, so if you're Indian, or if that's something that you celebrate, happy Diwali. I don't think that's probably the correct term, but enjoy your celebrations, whatever you're celebrating. If you have any October favourites that you think I would enjoy too, please share them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And please talk to me, contact me on all my social media. I have them linked below. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, stuff like that all the time. So if you want to contact me, definitely contact me there. Other than that, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!